Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great Friday so far. I have the day off today as I am getting ready to turn my front yard into a graveyard with my very good friend Rich from down in Tucson, who's coming up to help me. So I'm waiting on him to arrive. But in the meantime, it's been a while since I've done a Ruminations video, the Ruminations of George. Well, I'm a little pissed off this morning, and I make it no secret that I'm a homosexual. Surprise and shocker, huh? I have been one since birth. Nothing has changed. From when I was 3 years old, I would wear my mother's blue nightgown with her white hush puppy heels, I remember. And I'm sure my sisters that are out there possibly watching this, they remember the things I used to do and what I used to dress up in and how I was as a child. But I also was not like, the purse didn't fall out of my mouth every time that I spoke. I played baseball. I enjoyed baseball. I enjoy sports. I love football. I love certain things that you would think that a gay person wouldn't like. I love bowling. I like being active. I like doing horror. I like watching horror films. I like action films. You can't box us into one stereotype. That being said, yesterday's shootings up in Oregon at that community college are very disgusting, and they hurt my heart quite a bit. I'm now hearing the details this morning that the shooter went up to people and shot them based on their religion and where he shot them at. If you said that you were a Christian, you got shot in the head and you were killed. If you said you were Jewish or Muslim or any other religion, you were shot in the arm or leg and you were maimed, but you still lived. It's even more troubling to me. Not just because he was picking and choosing his victims based upon religion, but troubling in the fact that now zealot Christians everywhere are saying that we need to rise up and protect ourselves because the times are at hand. First, Kim Davis, she stood up for what she believed in and was thrown in jail. And those bakers that sold those cakes, they lost their business because they denied a gay couple. I think what troubles me the most is how can you equate murdering people for their religion and baking them a fucking cake? I'm sorry, they're not even near in the same ballpark. Christians are so quick to claim that they are persecuted and discriminated against when 9 times out of 10 they are the ones doing the discriminating themselves of others. I'm not saying all Christians. I am a church choir director. I love the church that I direct choir at because they are very understanding and open, and they preach love, not hate. And that's the way I think church should be. Growing up Catholic, I saw a lot of that hatred against gays, hatred against other religions. It took forever for the Catholics to even come to a consensus that the Jews were decent people. When Christianity came after Judaism, people forget that, and also that Christianity is a very young religion compared to all the other religions of the world, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. I mean, it's just one little speck in the whole grand scheme of religions in the world. Yes, it has the most followers. I think it's 2.2 billion, I believe, but Muslims have 1.7 billion. It's not very far behind. So you're not the only people out there. Well, anyway, I digress. Not all Christians are bad. I'm not saying that. I love my Christian friends that understand the Bible, interpret the Bible, and understand that the teachings in there are not so much about condemnation and hell and brimstone and fire, but more about how to treat each other and what Jesus actually taught, which was love, courage, understanding, helping. That's the Christian that I want to be associated with. Well, anyway, I was just in a little online battle with somebody on one of my former educators' pages that I knew in high school who I made a statement on there saying, I disagree with you more about Christians needing to rise up, and just saying that it's not about that. It's not about you. Yes, that one individual chose to shoot and kill Christians, but it doesn't mean that speaks for all of us. And then somebody had retorted and responded, so we are supposed to forget our beliefs and follow man's law? And I sat there incredulous. I'm like, yeah? You're not supposed to forget what you believe in, but you still gotta follow the damn law. That's why you're an American. That's why you're here. This is why we fled England as a people, to move to this country to escape religious persecution. And now you're claiming persecution, but you're doing it yourself. You can't do that. You just can't. And I said, okay, let me flip this for you. Okay, so we're not supposed to follow man's law. We're supposed to follow our beliefs. Okay. Let's just say that 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution never happened. Okay. So, as a Southerner, say that I'm from Mississippi. No offense to any Mississippi people out there. Love y'all. But let's just say that I'm a Southern plantation owner. I don't believe in the government's laws. I'm going to keep my slaves. And do you know what that creates? The Civil War. And what happens after the Civil War? We know what happens after the Civil War. Because you're wrong. So, I don't want to keep slaves. I want to keep my slaves still. I'm not going to listen to man's law. So, that's not appropriate. No way. Oh, you can't do that. Slaves. No. But it said in the Bible they had slaves. If it was fine in the Bible, why can't I have them now? It's the same thing. You can't say, I'm not following man's law regarding homosexuals being allowed to marry, us having equal rights. It's not the same. Yeah, it is. So, as long as you still continue to go and lay in Hobby Lobby and pretend that you are the only religion out there in the world and that your word is the word of all people, then we're never going to get anywhere. I know I rambled a bit there, got a little off topic, but I'm very upset by this. I no longer identify as Catholic. I just can't. As a homosexual male, and the way that the church views me, who I was, and who God made me, as an abomination of sorts, though they're a little bit more understanding today. You know, I hate that phrase, love the sinner, not the sin. It's not a sin. I'm sorry that that's the way I am, and that I'm in love with a wonderful man who, for 8 years, has never done anything to hurt me, and who my relationship is healthier than half the heterosexuals out there that have married and divorced 6 times. We won't go there. But to say that we are less of a people and less of a person than you are is disgusting. And I feel that you're disgusting. And if you want to defriend me on Facebook, you can defriend me, because I really don't care anymore. Everybody calls it it's the end of days. Well, you know what? No, it's the end of sanity is what it is. People are so ready to hide behind their religion and cloak themselves in this idea that their way is the only way, and they take the Bible word for word. When do you forget that the movie was called The Greatest Story Ever Told? Because that's what it is. It's a story. It's a compendium of stories over centuries put together in one book. No one knows what God thinks. And if you pretend to know what God thinks, then help you when it is the end of days, because He is going to issue upon you a reckoning, saying, how dare you speak for me? How dare you decide that that person is any less than that person? That's when you will feel the reckoning of God. Jesus was a good man. Everything I've read about Jesus, he was a really cool dude. He did a lot of great things, did a lot of miracles, but some of the things that you look at, did you ever see him look at somebody and say, you're a terrible person, I hope you go to hell? If anything, he looked at that person and tried to help them, and tried to be like, you know what? I understand. And God still loves you. That's what we're missing in this world. We are so quick to judge others and to make our own perceptions of people without looking deep inside ourselves first. So I'm sorry, folks, this is not the end of days. This world is just as fucked up as it has been for the last 1,000 years. Unfortunately, the human race itself is warping into this completely off-the-wall group of people that can't see past their own nose and see the grand scheme of everything around us. If that made sense, awesome. If that didn't, oh well, I tend to not make sense at times. So, okay, I'm done for now. Let the comments roll. Some of you will agree with me. Some of you will not agree with me. That's perfectly fine, just like election years. I am a conservative liberal. I split right down the middle. I believe there should be gun control, but yet I also believe that we should tax the rich. I believe that we should, oh my gosh, there's so many other things. I believe that we should, I'm not going to get into that right now. That's for another one. Another rumination. We'll do that around election time. But anyway, everybody have a great day. If I pissed you off, good. That was the intent. Because you need to think. And you need to look deep inside yourself and say, if you're comfortable telling other people that they're wrong in their life. Because, sorry, who the fuck are you to judge me?